Welcome, reporting to you live from a new year on Zoom. You are listening to the podcast Chisme, brought to you by the World of Feriela.
I'm Jennifer, aka Fed, reporting live from the Pink Palace.
And I'm Daniela, aka Ella, reporting to you live from the Sirena Oasis. Very Sirena this time. Now that all of the holidays are behind us, you know, we had Spooky Bitch Daniela, we had Oh So Thankful Daniela, which I never named. We had Holly Jolly Wholesome Daniela, and now we have our truest form. This setup was very thought out. It was not made on the spot right before doing this, but I got a few mermaid things, so I want to address my set real quick. I got this cute little mermaid at heart thing, which I would move, but it's holding up my gay flag because if you guys know, I'm hella gay. I got one of my favorite notebooks that I got last year. No, actually 2 years ago for my birthday. Because my birthday's coming up, y'all. The countdown is real. When you guys
has officially started.
The countdown has been officially started. When you guys see this, it will be just under a month till my 27th birthday. But this is Let's Change the World. And then my mom gave me this for El Día de los Tres Reyes Magos. So like people in Mexico celebrate, and I think in other parts of the world, but it's on my Mexican side, not on my Peruvian side, we celebrate it. And Tres Reyes Magos, the Three Kings, it's the day that I grew up in a Catholic home, so it's the day that the Three Kings came to visit baby Jesus, and they brought him gifts. And so my mom made me this cute little thing that she's been getting a little crafty lately. It's just like a chalkboard, but it says "Toda la vida te amaré, tu mamá." And for us in the Ramirez family, on my mom's side, that's a very known phrase, because that's what like the phrase that we set for like her mother, to like. Oh no, this was not supposed to be a sentimental thing, but yeah.
This
so that
is
was
so sentimental, you know. But
yeah.
like, I didn't.
When she passed
away,
that was the phrase, and so now it's just hitting me that this is the phrase that she's passing down to me.
That's so beautiful. No, I would say that. Okay, I couldn't tell. I saw the new setup, and I'm blind, guys. I don't know if I've talked about this on here, but I wear glasses, so I can't see. I don't know what that says until you read it. I was like, "What is that?" I'm like, I have to get this close, and I can barely read it. So,
yeah. And then I have my mom also gave me this little guy for Christmas. He sings "Merry Christmas," but it's not Christmas anymore, so I'm not gonna play it. But I saw this at Target forever. It's a unicorn. It did not come with the bi flag. I'm bisexual like that. But yeah, it's a unicorn, and his hair actually on the back has like the bi colors, like in pastel. So it's like purple, bluish, pink. And then I have you guys have seen the mermaid before. And then this thing that I've had since I was a kid. It's just this little picture of two girls doing their makeup.
That's me and you.
Playing dress up. Yeah, that's me and you if we were white.
The color is black and white, no?
No. It's in color. Here, I can move this.
I'm too blind for this.
For those of you who are listening to the podcast, I just brought forward this old picture of two white little girls. We are not white, in case you didn't know that already by my Spanish. Two little girls doing their makeup and dressed up, and they have their mommy's heels on and their mommy's bags. I was never really this girl growing up, but me and Bay are them now, because we full on go on video calls and do dress up sometimes.
It's so fun. It is so fun. I recommend that. 10 out of 10 would recommend to play dress up with your friends on video calls, especially I know how this whole pandemic can get kind of lonely and you miss kind of girl time or miss having that kind of connection. Do it. Get on a Zoom, put on a whole bunch of outfits and hype each other up, do your makeup together. It is honestly, it's really fun. I would say it's almost the same as hanging out in person. Like it gratifies me to that degree. So yes, 10 out of 10. Yeah, with the whole dress up thing, it's because I love putting on outfits, and I do that. I do it by myself already. So having an audience or having like talking and everything, it's like really, I like it. And so yeah, definitely would recommend that. So my setup is we're back to our aesthetics as well. My setup is just my usual pink stuff. I got Rila Kuma right here. I don't know if he's visual.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you call him?
Rila Kuma, that's his name.
Oh, I thought I heard Mila Kunis. And first of all, I have a huge crush on Mila Kunis. So I was like, what?
For those of you, I mean, I don't know if anyone else knows what Rila Kuma is, but he's like a Hello Kitty type figure, like in Japan. And so that's what he is. And so he's right here. I always love him in the spacesuit. And then I have my little plant here. This is, let me show y'all. This is a plant cam. I have this plant. His name is Dario.
Oh my God. Hi, Dario.
Yeah, I really like that name. And I rescued him from the 99-cent store. He looked wilted almost. I tend to go to the 99-cent store and like pick the more wilted ones because I feel bad for them. And then I bring them home and try to get them to go back to normal. So he's almost back to normal. His leaves look good. So I think
does look
he's doing
beautiful.
good.
In case you're wondering if she's a plant person, she is. And being a plant person is contagious because now I have a full plant situation just outside my window.
It was honestly one of the more healing things I did for myself in 2019 was get a plant. And actually my original plant came in this little pot, and I just reused this pot for my new ones because
is that a pink porcupine?
It's a pink little, I think it's either a hedgehog or a porcupine, but this is me. This is this is so cute. This little pink hedgehog porcupine thing. Yeah, and so this is so cute. Dario is gonna be chilling over here, and I have this pink little Yoshi.
Oh my God, I love Yoshi. Also, guys, real quick side note, please excuse any crunching that you hear. If you hear any crunching, I haven't had breakfast and I'm trying to live a more balanced life, so I'm having breakfast here with y'all.
Yeah, what is we having?
Oh, so I have a sausage and hash brown, and then I can't tilt this or I'm going to make a mess.
Yes.
And if you guys didn't know, Daniela's clumsy as shit. I got a funny story for you guys later of what happened to me this week. But I have an acai bowl that I made, and it has granola. It has with pecans in it, has blueberries, and it has banana.
Ooh, I love acai bowls.
I do too.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, my little Yoshi. He's an amiibo. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but he's a little amiibo. I know these are like is it for Wii U? I don't know what system amiibos are for, but I have one that's a Yoshi. I don't even have that system, but I just thought he was cute.
Wait, what's an amiibo?
It's like a thing. I think you use it. Okay, sorry. Whoever is into gaming and like is watching this, listening to this, correct me or explain to me what an amiibo is. But I believe you put them like on like a thing. And it like, I don't know, but you buy them for like the game, and like the amiibo allows you to, is it play as the character? I don't know what it lets you do, but I know it's a gaming thing. I don't have that system, like I said. And I know you can get other little figurines too. Like it was for like Smash and stuff, for Smash Bros. And like it's like you can do something with the amiibo because you could get characters like Samus.
Oh.
Yeah, like those characters. And so like that's what that's for. I just liked him because he was pink, and I was like, I'm gonna buy myself an amiibo just because he's a pink Yoshi.
Well, thankfully you bought him just for the purpose of that, because I would hate to break it for you. If he is for the purpose of what you said, excuse me, and he is for Smash, there is a pink Yoshi in Smash.
It's like special powers or something like that. It's like
okay. Because I'm like, that was, if you bought it for gaming, that's a waste of your money.
Yeah. It's like
that's like one of the few games I play. I play Smash Bros.
It's a fun one. I always complain to our friend Oliver that I hate Smash because I don't know what's happening. I love gaming, but I actually don't like Smash Bros because I don't know what's happening. I don't know where my character went. I hate the arenas that like most of my friends are like. I would play with my brother a lot, and like I hate the arenas they pick because I don't know where my character is half of the time. And I'm like, where am I? And I thought it was a glasses thing because I used to be like, hang on, if we're playing Smash, I can bring my glasses, and it's not. I can never find my character. I'm always so lost. So that is my hot take on Smash Bros. Let me know if y'all get lost on Smash Bros too. I don't know where the hell the character's at.
You gotta really fucking focus. Whenever I play Smash Bros, like I am leaning in with my controller in my hand, focused. Also, I'm decent. And I'm gonna take this opportunity real quick before I ask you how you're doing, to publicly troll our mutual friend Oliver. I'm gonna publicly troll Oliver.
Okay, I'm excited.
It's all love. Welcome to the new year, guys. Are you looking to meet someone? You looking for love? Are you looking for a friend or for someone to date or something? Well, my friend Oliver is single. Is single and ready to mingle. Oliver is a very, very handsome and talented man who is an engineer. He plays video games and is a fucking phenomenal friend. This mic, that camera is brought to you by the fucking generosity of his friendship. How did this go from this is how you know I just revealed my true form. I tried to be a troll and then I turned out to be like the grateful friend that I am all the time.
Okay, this is why me and Oliver, like just a little context for you guys, why we want to troll Oliver and everything. We have our little triad of our friendship. Me and Oliver are the demons in that group chat. And we always talk about how Daniela is so like wholesome and good, and this is proof. I'm gonna like, I'm glad this is going on camera and it's being recorded, because that way later I can cite this later and be like, hey, well, this is how you are good, and me and him are the demons.
Yeah. Also, Oliver, don't hate me for trying to troll you.
This was great. I think everything she said was accurate. Yeah, guys or women, he's single.
Women.
He's single. All you need to know, yes, women. All right, women, ladies, he's single. So drop a comment below if you want to know, if you want single Oliver's. Hashtag Oliver.
hashtag single Oliver. Hashtag Oliver. Oliver, comment below. You know, drop them socials.
Yes.
If you're looking for someone to make you fucking laugh and just be truly random as fucking shit, and you need yourself like a dose of energy every once in a while, Oliver's your guy. Oliver's your guy.
Exactly. So comment below, hashtag single Oliver.
yeah, I'm pimping my friend out.
And we'll hook you up.
He always tells me I need to wing woman, and this is my way of wing womaning better.
See, this is, you know what this is? It's like when we promote a sponsor. We have a sponsorship, and the sponsorship is single Oliver.
Yeah. Shout out to Oliver. Also, speaking of techie things, I got new headphones for Christmas.
Yay!
Yeah, my dad got me these. So I guess let's get into how was the break? I'll start with this portion of the break.
Okay.
Since we were kids, even after knowing that Santa wasn't real, we write letters to Santa, and it's mostly for our parents to know kind of like a general idea of what we want.
Aww.
And I don't really do those anymore, but my kid brother, who's not a kid anymore, actually, he's 20, made one, and I was like, yeah, he's the baby. And my mom was like, you don't gotta make freaking Santa lists anymore or whatever. And then my dad was like, no, it's okay. Like I want to know. And then I was like, being the petty ass bitch that I am all the time, I was like, what? If he gets to make one, I want to make one. And so I sent my dad this email list of things that I want, but I put at the very bottom, guys. Okay, I put at the very bottom, I don't need all or even any of these. It's just, I'm doing this for shits and giggles, and in case you have no idea what to get me or something, like here's a list of things that I would want. And again, was not really expecting to get any or all of these. I put ridiculous things on there. I really did. I put ridiculous things on there, like these expensive ass headphones. I put a TV. I put like a vlogging camera, but then I put
house.
A car. No, I put shoes, and I did put in parentheses, I actually really need shoes, Dad. So like if you want to capitalize on something, like capitalize on the shoes. I really need shoes. These are the ones I like. Because my dad wanted to do online shopping. So that was the big thing of why he like wanted the list. So he was like, yeah, send me a list. It's fine. But he actually did end up getting me these headphones, and I really wanted these. These are headphones that they're noise canceling. I saw that they come really recommended for podcasting. And I personally, as a dancer, really love to, when I choreograph and when I'm getting creative, I like to be very private with it. It's a very intimate moment for me. And so I just like, I wanted something that I could really immerse. I love these. I love them so much. They last, the hours of duration last so long. So long. And so far, we've already tested these at our meeting earlier this week. I can hear everything. It's great. So I'm really excited about these. These were my favorite. These were one of my favorite gifts from Christmas, if not the favorite.
I love that. That is also the list. That's so cute. I love that. The whole list to Santa and everything. That I would say that, like with the whole like having your kids believe in Santa and everything, man, that comes in clutch when you got to get them gifts. So I think that's a plus side. Yeah. So that's so cute. That's so cute that you got something off of your list. Like you said, the thing with gifts is that And I think it's like maybe it isn't a known thing, but in my opinion, I think it is. But like it's like gifts are just if you want to do something nice for someone and that kind of thing. They're not tend to be something that you think someone needs or whatever, right? Like I think most gifts that I give tend to be like gifts of like, oh, I think this person would like this, not I think this person needs this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my
So
mom's the opposite. She does gifts that you need. But she does do some gifts that she thinks you would like. My mom can be very thoughtful like that. And I like to do thoughtful gifts as well. I like to do like I also like to do trolling gifts when I have the time and money for it. I like to, whenever I'm going to give someone, usually like an SO, like a big gift, before giving them the big gift, I give them a joke gift and pretend like that's it. And like I remember one year, the way that I presented, I think I gave my boyfriend at the time, as my high school sweetheart, an iPod for Christmas. And I put it inside of something else, but I put it inside of a Lego box, but it was like a Batman Lego box, and he really loves Batman. So I was like, either way, he's gonna like this. And so he opens the gift and he sees the Batman. He was like, "Oh my god, babe, this is like so sweet, thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should open it." Like, and he was like, "Okay." And he opens it. He's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And there was an iPod inside. And he was like, "This is great." He was like, "I'm kind of bummed I don't got the Legos, but."
I know, that's like honestly like that the way you put that down, like, oh my god, that's like, you're right, either way he would have been happy. But like also like I'm so glad you're like opening, because if I was like putting myself in that situation and if someone gave me something in a different box, I'd be like, oh thank you, and just kind of keep it, and they'd be like, oh you should open it, and I'm like, if they didn't say you should open it, I would literally go home thinking that that's what I got, that I got some Legos, and let it sit in a corner. And then eventually, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to play with the Legos. I would go and be like, oh my God, there's a whole iPod in here. So that I'm the kind of person, whenever I get gifts, I don't tend to, as much as I love wearing something new, I tend to be like, oh, I'm gonna save this over here like a little special moment, and then I don't open it till like a month later sometimes.
Sorry, but you just gave me the best idea for a troll gift of just not telling them to open it, and that way you know if they really liked the troll gift. Because if they take a whole month, then I'll be like, well, damn, ouch, you didn't like my joke gift. You didn't open it until now. All right, I see how it is. I'll take that iPod back. I still, no, I'm just kidding. But how was your break?
It was good. I'd say the way my parents tend to you know, because we don't do the list thing, is they just kind of like see, okay, what is she like fixated on at the moment? And that is very accurate. I have very like fluctuating things that I like and what I'm fixated on at the moment. And so they're probably like, what is she fixated on at the moment? And what they got me was a ring light. I was like, yay. It's actually better than the one that I already had, so I'm really happy. And it's the tripod it came with is so much easier to use than this other one that I had. I've had this the other one since like high school, and it's just old school and really flimsy. So the one that they gave me made me so happy. And then I got a gift from Daniela, which was very thoughtful. It was a little, it's actually in display in my room. I haven't sent you a picture. I meant to send you a picture of where it's at, but like it's in display because it just fits the aesthetic in here because it's pink and glittery. So it's on display right now, and it's a confidence jar, and I love that. I love it, and so I love it. I just even look at it, and like part of me is like, I don't want to keep pulling little papers out. So in case, sorry, let me describe to you guys what a confidence jar is. So it's a little jar. It's like number one, I like the jar in general. Like it's nice and glass and sturdy. So
it's a mason jar.
Yes, it's a mason jars, but I like it because it's like, I like the way it feels that it's like heavy. And so but it's like a little glass jar, and it has a little latch, and so it's all decorated. I'm looking at it right now. It's decorated with pink and glitter, and it has a ribbon. I love the ribbon detail. It gives it like a princess vibe. And so you open it, and there's like little pieces of paper, different colored paper in there. And when you pick it out when you need, like, I guess you would need a boost in your confidence. And then when you open it, it has little phrases in them, like you are loved or you are important. And so really, I love them. And so I haven't picked any papers out because I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through all of them because I have a good memory, so I know what they say.
There's a lot.
There's a lot, yeah.
There is a lot of them in there. I thought I was done, and then I was like, I could add more, and I just kept going. And
it's filled to the top, guys. It's filled, and it's paper. It's paper. So when to fill something to the top with paper, it has to be a lot of paper. So yeah, it's filled to the top, and it's like, I love it. I should have brought it on. Okay, next week I'm gonna display it on here. That's actually what I was thinking of before I hopped on. I was like, you know, I need to update this setup. I was like, I don't know what else to put here, but the jar. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, so that's a good idea. For next time, I'm gonna
actually I want to make one for myself because I made that for you and for our other best friend Adriana, because I mean, as you guys know, we're in a pandemic. Times are hard. That's something I'll get into later, but I love to give gifts because I just love to take time to think about somebody and put my time and I'm not a very like I'll like this kind of thing, like I'm not an easy gift kind of person. I will like go to the store and like spend hours and like what's the perfect gift or whatever, um but I didn't have money to really be gifting like that this year at all. So and Adriana and Jennifer have really been there for me in this last year and a half, 2 years, especially during this pandemic and the hard time that I was going through. And I was like, I want to show, and I know they've been going through it on their own too. And I was like, how can I show them that I appreciate them without like breaking my bank? And so I went and got these huge mason jars. Like, so you guys were probably thinking of the ones that are pretty small, like a nice big glass, but no, they're like something you put cereal in. They're kind of big. And I like already have a shit ton of glitter because I like to craft sometimes. I like to do DIY stuff. I bought this huge glitter packet for when I was back when I was married. I did my centerpieces and I covered them. I did mason jars covered in glitter. So I already knew how to do that. Yeah, so I already knew how to do that. And so I was like, oh, I could do that. I just need to go buy some spray glue. So I bought some spray glue and I was doing this the same week. The week after finals. Yeah. I bought all the stuff like the week before finals. And then you guys saw the podcast come out. And that weekend I was like, my room smelled like glue. My nose felt sticky. It was disgusting. Yes, it was awful. I was like, there was glitter everywhere. Candy, my dog, my golden retriever, was like, the frick is going on here? What?
Oh my God, I bet she had glitter on herself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't bring her in until way later because I noticed the room was smelling like glue and I didn't want her to like really inhale any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I love that you liked the bow. I put a bow, I tied a ribbon and made a bow around the rim. That was actually just meant as like you could take it off and do away with it if you want.
Oh, I left it on.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I'm glad. I wasn't gonna do it, and then I was like, I still have this ribbon. I guess I'll just tie it around and whatever. So I'm glad I did that because I love that you love that because that was just.
It's actually my favorite touch because I have this thing where I like love that things have like a princessy feel to them, and there's the material of the ribbon and how fluffy it is and like how airy and soft and delicate. I was like, oh, I love it. I was like, this is really my vibe, and so I left it on there. I didn't realize I was supposed to take it off.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for you to read all of them as you get through them. Yeah, because there are some general like so they're words of affirmation, guys, and just like confidence stuff. And so there are quite a few that are like the same in both of yours, but I did customize a few. Like there were some that I was like, oh, I have to put this in. And there's like, I don't want to give away I'm not going to give away too much because I want them all to be surprises.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun doing that. And when I like finally finished, I was just like, aw, I want one. And I was like kind of mad at myself. I was like, why didn't you freaking make yourself one too? So I think I will. Yeah, I think I will.
It's a good idea. And so I honestly, so that was like my gifts and like that was the extent of them. I loved them and like, I had a pretty low key all holidays, of course it's pandemic like we mentioned. And so like our holidays were very low key and I just spent them with my family and I had a nice time. Like for Christmas, it was the first time that I did not get dressed up. I did not, I have had Christmases like that before, but this one I legit was in sweats. Like the top half was dressed and then like I had something cute on, I believe, and like the rest was sweats. I did some light makeup and that was it. I just chilled and it was cool. Like, and I realized, oh my God, this is the first time because I'm like notorious for this. Number one, I would work on, cause now we always talk, well, I know you don't celebrate Noche Buena, but we celebrate Noche Buena. And so because it is Christmas Eve, we tend to like celebrate on the 24th. I tend to work on Christmas Eve sometimes. When I was working retail, I would always work. And so I would rush home. I'd get off at 6. I'd come home. There was already people here. I'd be like, oh my goodness. And I'd be like notorious for spending like the next 2 hours just in my room getting ready while there's guests here. And it would just even take longer because my cousins were already here and they were already in here just talking to me and everything. And it would just take, the process would take like 3 hours. And I'd be like, and so then by the time I was ready, it'd be like 9 p.m. And then I feel like I spent all my time getting ready. And I liked it because like, okay, I got to feel like, beautiful and like, put on makeup. But like at the same time, I was like, I spent so much time getting ready that I didn't get to like enjoy Christmas. And so this year, since that was factored out, number one, there was no slew of people. I didn't work that day. And I was like, I have all day to get ready. And I thought I was going to spend all day getting ready, but I didn't. I had a great day. Like I got ready in like an hour and then spent the rest of the day just enjoying Christmas. And the same thing happened New Year's. Well, New Year's was different because New Year's I did do the whole 9. Like I wanted to do all my glitter. I was like, the theme for New Year's was, it's New Year's, let's put on all the glitter in the house. And that's pretty much what I did. I put glitter everywhere. Like all that was left was for me to put glitter in my hair, which I'm sad that I didn't do. But I think I just watched it, but I should have put some glitter like here or something, or like it would have been really cool. But point is, like that was the theme for New Year's. I did spend that day getting ready, but I also got to enjoy it. So I would say I did love the break. It was nice to, I think I haven't had, it was like mixed feelings. I haven't had a break like that during the holidays in a long time, because as we know, pandemic had made it so that we're forced to not have all these Christmas plans and not have all these New Year's plans and everything.
Yeah, especially
and
here in California.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so like what made it this year is that like normally the holiday season is a break because you get to like, go to your, family thing, you get to eat, you get to do all these fun things, and it's a great day and everything during the holidays, but it's also busy. It's also time that you spend. It's also effort, social effort, at least for people like me. And I'm a little introverted. So it is a busy time, even though I'm not necessarily doing anything work-wise or whatever. It's still a busy time because you're prepping for this day weeks and ahead of time. You're getting gifts. You're doing all these things. It's a really busy time. And because this year, that factor was not there, it made it so that the holidays were chill. This is the first time ever that my holidays are chill. I can't imagine what it's like for people who have a bigger family. I have a really small family, and even with a small family, there have been holiday seasons where I'm like, oh my God, you mean tomorrow's Christmas? And I'm like freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, did I get everything? And I'll like, procrastinate and everything. So, yeah, I can't imagine what it's like for people who have big families, because for me, even with a small family, it's pretty busy. So I really appreciated the slowing down and how it was way more chill this year. So I genuinely enjoyed my break. How about you? How did you feel about your break?
From someone who has a huge family, it's freaking crazy, but I love it. I love it. Real quick, you said that, I just want to clarify this to the listeners because they're like, Daniela doesn't celebrate Nochebuena. No. I celebrate, Nochebuena is Christmas Eve, for those of you who do not speak Spanish. So Latinos are known to celebrate. We celebrate on Christmas Eve, Nochebuena. Not really. We don't do squat on Christmas Day. And most Latinos, and so I do celebrate Nochebuena, but most Latinos open their gifts at midnight. I do not. That's what she meant. Okay. Yeah, I open my gifts the following morning. We do the American style of that because of the whole keeping up the facade of Santa. And also my parents are huge procrastinators. So they are wrapping gifts after we go to sleep. And when I got old enough, when I was a teenager, I was the one wrapping the gifts when everyone fell asleep. But so welcome back, guys. We've been gone for 3 weeks. You haven't heard from us for 3 weeks. And I'm really glad we took the break. When we're always going to, I don't know that we're probably not always going to do 3 weeks, but we're always definitely going to do the week of Christmas and New Year's. Because I think it's important to take a break every once in a while. And as you guys know, especially from our cry cam of the last podcast, and if you haven't heard the last podcast, we did the year in review from Fred's perspective and from my perspective of what 2020 was like for each of us. So go check those out. But as you guys know, like in general, I've been going through it because I'm a very transparent person. I'm a very transparent person, and I like to live my life out loud and just I don't know, lead by example and try to destigmatize things like mental health. And I had really been going through it. Like I've been going through it for a while. All of 2020 was kind of like mental hula hoops or whatever, but in the last, I would say from September through December was really intense and hard on me. And I was having, to be very transparent, I was having a mental breakdown every other week. It was really bad. I was not doing well at all. So I took a break from everything and everyone for a few days. And then I stayed off of most social medias for the rest of up until this week. Remember, we record these a week ahead of time. So today is the 8th. It's Friday the 8th. So this week I kind of jumped back in, but literally right after recording the last podcast that we did, was it the last no, the week posting the last podcast that we did, I fell off the face of the earth. I went off the grid for like 2.5 days roughly. And let me say, like, that may not seem like a lot to some people. Like if you're not like glued to your phone or like on social media often, you're like 2.5 days, like that's nothing. But for me, and no, it is nothing. But for me, I have never done that, or I haven't done that God, in a really long time, in a really, really, really long time. Because even when I travel, I can go on like social media. And as someone who is like a dancer and, you know, I do WAF, I have my dance companies and other things, I have to be on my phone. I work on my phone. I'm on social media all the time. And it is a lot of pressure to feel like you have to be perfect. And also I can't afford to be like, oh, I'm not going to go on social media this week. I can't. Like I have a business to run and I have to promote that on social media, especially now during the pandemic. I think maybe before I might have been able to get away with it, but now during the pandemic, it's the only way that I have to promote. And so 2.5 days was so needed. It was so nice. I took a bubble bath. I went on like a really nice long hike and got high. It was great. I spent some time for myself to slow down. I didn't do anything but what I wanted to do. And then after that, I continued. I needed it. And it was so helpful. And then I continued to take a break from like mostly social media for the rest of that time because we weren't doing WAF. I was out of school. I was not teaching. I took like a vacation, a staycation. And I really just talked to my friends. But even then I kind of kept to myself a lot of that time because, you know, I needed to take care of myself. I'm the type of person who always like lives in the future and who's always like, I'm a busy bee. I'm go, 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 go all of the time. And before we went on the break, I realized I need to make some really big changes in my life or I'm not going to get any better. I'm not going to feel any better. And I'm not going to be able to dig myself out of this hole that I feel that I'm in. And so I was like, I need to find balance and I need to take a break. And I had to take that time too, to make decisions about what's going to change in my life and what I'm going to do different and what I want my life to look like and what I want. Because I was as I said, I think in my last podcast, I found myself at a crossroads. I was like, my life is changing and I can feel that this is a very strong shift from everything. And for a while, I thought it was from like who I was. And really, it's not that at all. It was just coming back to myself and realizing that I'm actually not this new version of Daniela. I'm Daniela all along. And so this break was great. It was great. I did the DIY gifts, which was like really fun, a little stressful, but really, really fun. And I did it while watching Netflix and sipping some wine and having some snacks when I wasn't gluing. And I like made these little me and Candy postcard things, just a few, and like put them in my house and whatever. And yeah, I had a good time. Christmas was definitely different because I do have a big family. My mom is one of 15 and my dad is like one of 7. But with my dad's side, it's always been small. We are the family to host every single year for my dad's side of the family. And not many of them are here. And so the way that Christmas Eve started was very different because I'm used to like the cooking wasn't different. I'm used to the cooking. But I'm used to me and my mom or me and my brothers sneaking off, not sneaking off. That sounds funny. But no, sneaking off to go to the Ramirez side of the Christmas party. And there's always a lot of people and everyone's eating, everyone's talking, people are drinking, and it's a really good time. And so I really missed that. I will say that I really miss my cousins. We are very, very close. It's a lot of us, but we make an effort to stay connected. And so they are probably one of the group of people that I miss the most. But we did, during the break, me and my mom went to go take a few family members tamales. We just dropped them off at their door, but like we would see them from like a distance. And this was the first time my mom saw any of her family members the entire pandemic. And really the first time both of us saw any of one of my cousins dropped something off for me once and at the house. And so I saw them from a distance, but this was the first time my mom was seeing her siblings or anyone. And so like, I didn't want to like limit any time or anything. And just, it was really great. It was really, really great. I really, really enjoyed my time, and we took tamales because my mom usually does posadas, which are like pre-Christmas parties in Mexican culture. And this year she couldn't do the posadas, so she just made tamales and took them to a few of her siblings. Yeah, that was cool. And then Christmas Eve, we always end Christmas Eve is pretty low key. Everyone was really tired though, so they like were like at 11 p.m. they were like, "Aye, good night," and I was just like, okay, I'll Christmas by myself. Oh shit, I forgot. I decided it would be appropriate because, since 2020 was just like came in like a wrecking ball into everybody's life, we all know a beloved character of the Christmas time that would have loved this pandemic and been like, this is the best way to ruin Christmas, and that character is the Grinch. So I thought that since this is a different Christmas, fuck it, I did SFX makeup and just made myself the Grinch. And so I was the Grinch on Christmas. I had like a
it was cool.
It was really fun. And during that time, I was also feeling very carol-y. So I can't believe you forgot to mention this, that I was singing to you all night Christmas Eve.
I thought I was going to keep that like private because I was like, I don't know. Because then like, what if our viewers are like, our viewers, aka me and everybody else that wants to help a navel, what if they're like, sing for us, show us the carols? I have them. I have the carols, guys. And so yeah, that she sang some carols to me. It was really fun. We reminisced on our performing days, and we used to in high school, our show choir women's chorale days, and that was so fun. Yes, it was good. Yes, the caroling and everything. It was great, guys. It was one day.
It was so
the world
fun.
ever sees it was quite the moment to see like Daniela half dressed in the Grinch, because it was a progression of the makeup as the carols go on. Like every new carol, there's like more added to the Grinch. But it was so cool to see the transformation with the carols and everything. And yeah, guys, it was quite the sight. I would have never thought I would have seen the Grinch caroling, but there she was.
Yeah,
the Grinch was Christmas carols.
It was actually pretty funny. I haven't sang like that in a long time, and y'all should know, before I decided I wanted to be a dancer, I wanted to be a singer growing up. Like I love singing, but it wasn't for me. Anywho, I'd be getting in my head, I'm just like, it's because you're not that good or whatever. And I was killing it that night. And the verification was when I went outside to go turn on the lights.
I remember this. Sorry.
I started singing. I was singing my favorite Christmas song, which is Last Christmas by Wham. And so I was singing that one outside, and I was going all out. I was loud because I was like, whatever. And I finish, and I'm outside the whole time, just like doing the lights and whatever, and just like taking in the night. And when I finish, in the distance, I hear, wow! And I was like, the voices in my head are kind of active tonight, because I got voices in my head. But then I was like, but that didn't sound like it was in my head. And so I start looking around, and I see my neighbors from across the street in the window going, and I was like, and I ran inside because I got so like shy and embarrassed, and I didn't know what to say or do. But yeah, I walked inside. I was like, the neighbors just cheered for me singing. Like it was gratifying to my soul, and I was just like, oh, was kind of fun. That was kind of.
Oh my god, I feel you about the whole rush of like embarrassment, because I used to fun fact, walking home from middle school, because I used to live pretty close to the middle school I went to, and so I did not have like an iPod or anything like that to accompany on my walk home. So I used to just walk from school by myself, and I would sing to myself. I'd be like, I'm going to be my own iPod. So I would sing all of the hits from Kelly Clarkson, because I was into Kelly Clarkson. I would sing all of these little songs as I was walking home. I was my own iPod. And part of me, I put myself in your position of like, what if someone whose house I walked by, this little radio, people are probably thinking, who is this little radio that happens to pass by every time at like this time? But I was always singing. And so like, I feel you. I would be gratified, but like embarrassed as someone caught me singing, because it's like, it's not, again, I'm somebody who I sing. I would say like, maybe because, probably yours has the layer of that you wanted to be a singer. Whereas for me, I do get stage fright more of like, oh my God, people, but it's not so much. I'm like, whatever. If I suck, then I suck. It's kind of fun, whatever. And so I'm that way about singing and dancing and everything. And so, but what makes me nervous is that the stage fright, because I don't perform much. So anywho, for me, it's not so much that, but it was just the fact that I feel embarrassed is probably because I'm like, it's a moment that I didn't think anyone was listening to me. It's like when you do something weird and someone saw you and you're like, I didn't intend for people to see that.
I feel
I feel you. That feeling you described to me when you told me that story, I was like, I feel it for you. It's so gratifying. But like the thing of like, I didn't intend for nobody to see that or hear that.
I was like low key mad I didn't record it. I was like, that was actually really good, because if anybody is a musician out there or sings, I'm a soprano. I'm a first soprano, so I can hit those Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande notes. I trained my voice to do that when I was younger because I wanted to be able to. And so, but when I do that, I need to project. I need to be very loud. So I don't always get to practice at home because I get in a sing-song mood in the middle of the night. And if I do that in the middle of the night, my parents and my brother will kill me. So when I was outside, I was like, fuck it, I'm outside. And it's not like after 10. Like the worst people are going to do are going to be like, can you shut up? And then I'd be like, it's not after 10.
No. And I'm at my house. I can do whatever I want.
Exactly. But yeah, Christmas was pretty fun. I took some pictures of me stealing my Christmas tree. It was fun. I had a really good time. I did not want to take it off because it looked great. I really killed it with that Grinch look. 2, because there was so much makeup on my face, it was going to take forever. But I also knew I couldn't go to sleep like that because I would ruin my skin. So I eventually took it off and wrapped the gifts that I had to wrap, which wasn't that many this year, and put them out. And I thought I was accidentally going to be super drunk because we had this chocolate liqueur thing. I don't know why I put my hand up like a C. I just made like a C when I said chocolate. I don't know why.
It's how you're on some Sesame Street stuff. You're like the letter of the day.
C for chocolate liqueur. Daniela got turnt as fuck on chocolate liqueur on Christmas Eve. No, I actually didn't, but I thought I was because I had one of these ditzy moments where like I drink, but like it's not like I know everything about drinking, right? Or like alcohols. And I like to make mixed drinks or whatever, but it's also not like I know everything about everything. I just act confidently as if I do. And so I get this liqueur. And normally what I would do with a liqueur like this, like a Bailey's or a Kahlua, I would put it in my milkshake and make a drunken milkshake. And I've done that before, but one, it was freaking cold, so I wasn't going to make a drunken milkshake. And 2, I didn't have any milkshake stuff. So I was like, okay, let me see how the bottle says to drink this. And so it says pour over ice. And I was like, I could do that. So I grab my handy dandy tumbler here, which keeps my drinks cold. I fill it with ice about halfway and I start to pour. And I pour it, I think, about 3/4 of the way. By the way, this may not look like much, but she holds a lot. A lot. And then I just reach in, I go for a sip. And I'm like, huh. Oh my God, that's a lot stronger than I thought. And I bless you.
Thank you.
And I turned the thing around and I see the percentage, which I think was like 40. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to be so
Oh no.
drunk.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was the vibe. And I was like, no. And so I go grab my chocolate almond milk and start filling it with chocolate almond milk and just trying to like diminish it. And I was like, I told my family, I was like, this is the only drink I'm gonna have tonight, because this is going to make me drunk. And so I just kept waiting for it to hit me, and I got like tipsy, but I was just like, my tolerance sometimes can be all over the place. Sometimes I get drunk super easy. In the last year, I think it comes with I'm getting old. But sometimes I get drunk super easy, where I'm just like, why did I get drunk off of 3 drinks? Like, it was just 3 drinks. And sometimes like a year ago, I had essentially 16 shots and I didn't even have a hangover. I was drunk, but that should have made me puke, blackout, all this stuff. None of it. So my tolerance can be all over the place sometimes. Why did I have 16 drinks that time? It was my other best friend, Wendy's birthday, and she was pregnant at the time with her now baby boy. And so I was doing her shots too. And I spent the night. I didn't drive, guys. Or even but yeah, no. But my Christmas Day was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. Christmas Day for me wasn't different at all because, again, Latinos, we don't really do anything. Christmas Day, all we do in my family is just open our gifts and play with our gifts all day. And so that's what I did. And Bay was like leaned all the way. So now she talked about what I got her. I'm gonna talk about what she got me. She was like leaning all the way in to my queer, somewhat androgynous vibes. And she got me this really cool black corset with like a chain strap. Sorry. And it's so cute. And she was like nervous that it wasn't going to fit me. I was too, because like something y'all maybe don't know about me from watching this podcast, because it cuts off at my shoulders. But I got some big old titties. I do. I am tig old bitties. I do. I got some tig old bitties. I am those people that hate button ups because you always got that gap or the button pops open. But I am also a free the nipple person. As someone with tig old bitties, bras make my back hurt so much. So much. So I don't flex with bras. But I got some tig old bitties. So anything that specifically accentuates the chest is always like I have to go a few sizes up sometimes, because although maybe like, for example, a medium will fit me in pants sometimes I'll even have to go up to an extra large because they're big.
Yeah,
they're big.
Exactly.
They be popping out.
Especially corset, that had me sweating. Because I was like, okay, so I have a theme. What I do with my gifts, and then I was like, oh, I always try to go into the store and really think it out. For me, I like to, I guess I think in themes, because last year's gift, not this Christmas, you know what I'm talking about. That Christmas, it was to add more color into her life. So the gift was colorful. Yeah. And the gift was so colorful and bright, and that's what the theme was color. This year's theme for her gift was I want to add into the like the bisexual, the queer, the everything. And so I wanted to lean into that. And so that's what they tend to think in themes, and so I tend to get things that I feel would like, pull.
You just reminded me how much you made me cry last year too. She was like, color? I feel like you need color back in your life because you've always been a color. That card had me crying. I was like, oh. And this year's card had me bawling too. I think I actually have it.
Oh, I think you read it for me on our what is it?
Polos. Oh, and I cried. And I cried.
We were a line into the card, and you're like, oh, it's already made me cry. Line into the card. Oh my god. Yeah. So yes, keep going, because I want to tell you what the theme of the gift was. Yeah.
Yes. So she got me that. I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget any of the little things, because I know they're sitting in my room, and I'm just
I remember what they were.
Okay, cool. But like I'm gonna talk about the main things.
Yeah.
I know one of the little things. What is the other little thing? My brain is like drawing a blank. Okay. Oh no, that I bought. Okay, sorry, guys. This was watching the ADHD happen live. The thought process. Anywho, and the other thing that she got me. Oh, I love it. She got me this oversized because it's oversized.
It's a boyfriend fit.
Yeah, it's a boyfriend fit jean jacket with like this like what do they call it? This wash. What is it called?
Acid wash.
With an acid wash on it. I love it. I love it. And I said like overfit with air quotes because like it is big, but again, because I have big old titties, it actually buttons. It buttons comfortably. Like there is a little bit of room, but it buttons comfortably. But when I'm not like having it button, it looks really big. And it's, oh, I love it. It's oversized and it's so gay. I love it. And I really like to, so my personal like fashion tends to be like feminine mixed in with masculine lately is what I've noticed. I like to do tones of like femininity with like rough edges. Like, and so that was really nice. And then she also got me, I know I'm going to miss one because I cannot think of it for the life of me, but she got me this really, 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 really cute red lip stain because it's not like matte, but oh, it's so beautiful and it's made with cannabis. That's why she got it for me, because she knows that I be about that life, and so I was really happy about that. What is, I'm like looking over at like my desk
because I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Yeah, because it's gonna take me.
It's a blush.
That's right. That's right. It's because it's out of sight. Daniela is an out of sight, out of mind person. And that one is sitting, and I literally looked at it right before hopping on. It's sitting inside of my makeup box. But it's this blush that she's been recommending, and I just haven't had the money to go get it, to be honest. And she got it for me, and it's this ColourPop blush, which I really like. I ended up wearing it, I think, New Year's. And it's like this really soft, how would I describe it? It's not pink, like a mauve, but not quite mauve. It's like mauve on the side of like an amber.
Yes, there's like I don't know how to explain it either. I want to, is it terracotta? I don't think it is
terracotta. Is closer.
I think terracotta is close. And so what I liked about it is that it's a very lit from within. I'm a sucker for warm tones, brown tones. The blush looks brown in the tin. And so like I love it. And so I always tell her, oh my God, this is my favorite blush. It looks like I'm glowing from inside. It looks like my natural like blush, because you know, for me, because of all the undertones in my skin, when I blush, I don't only blush pink. I don't blush this color. And so that like flush kind of color, color reminds me of my natural like color, my face when it's red. And so I was like, you know what, like I love it. And so I gave it to her, because that one was not in theme. That was just something that I was that old time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just let her try it and like get it. And so that one I kept the receipt for, but that one, because I was like, just in case. But that was not in the theme. But the other three were definitely in the theme. That was just an extra. But yes, and also the jacket, the boyfriend fit jacket, I was like so happy that she liked it. I converted her to, I think this is like a thing that I haven't I'm pretty sure you might have seen it. If you do follow our Instagram page, you might have seen it already. I'm notorious for wearing my jackets like this.
Oh,
like this. This is how I wear my jacket.
And she has her jackets by her biceps. Like it's off the shoulder, but super off the shoulder. It's like I'm wearing a jacket, but only for fashion.
Only, yes. I'm wearing the jacket, but I want y'all to see the outfit underneath. And normally I don't do this with a long sleeve. Right now I'm wearing a long sleeve and a big puffy jacket, but I do like to do it with my puffy jackets. I'm wearing a teddy bear coat right now. So when I put it up, it's very big, right? So I like when it's like really big, and I like to be swallowed up by fabric. But like for pictures, I take my jacket down. Like I want y'all to see my outfit. So I wear it like this off my, like essentially off of both my shoulders. It's a joke on my Instagram page, Brat Baby, that I don't wear anything on my shoulders. Like there's nothing ever on my shoulders. And so yeah, I converted her, because like, you know, I've seen her wearing the jacket like this sometimes, and I'm like, yes, that is the way I wear my jackets. Yeah, it's great.
I won't wear all of my jackets like that, but that one is one that I could fuss with that.
That's why I like oversized, because it lets you do that. I don't do that with my little like cropped jackets either, because I feel like it just looks strange. But yes, I love boyfriend fit things. That is like probably the overall arching theme in my fashion, is that I love boyfriend fit loose big things. It was to be swallowed by fabric. Yeah,
I really love it. I ended up wearing that jacket on New Year's. Yeah. So after that, I took a break. It was fun. New Year's was chill. That was the one, I think, out of all the holidays, New Year's was the one that I felt the most difference, because I have actually, although I love Halloween, I have had Halloweens that were low key, not by choice. It was when I was married, and they didn't really want to do anything, and I was really bummed out by that. I didn't like that, but I have had low key Halloweens, so it wasn't like a totally new experience. It's not one that I liked ever, but it wasn't new. Whereas I never spent New Year's with my parents since I was like a teenager because I just don't like spending New Year's with my parents. And so that one was the one that I was getting a little anxious about because I was like, like, what am I gonna do? I can't, like, I have to. And like, normally I turn up on New Year's. I like friends, go to a party, something very extroverted.
The extrovert jumps out. Yeah.
The extrovert jumps all the way out on New Year's. But I couldn't do that. So I got dressed up. I like put on a fit. I put on that jacket. I had like my leotard on with like some pants and my favorite black boots. And I did my hair. It was all curly. And I did my makeup. I was looking snatched to the gods. I looked so, I'm just saying, I looked hella good. I felt hella good. I felt like a queen. That was great. And New Year's Eve, it actually turned out to be really great. We got turned. Me and my brother got turned. I especially got turned. And we, because I wanted to make my family drinks. And by that, I just mean my dad, my uncle, and my brother, because my other brother and my mom don't really drink. But we didn't have all the ingredients I needed. So I made what did I call it? The Emperor's New Groove. I called it the Emperor's New Groove because if you've watched the Emperor's New Groove, it's based in Peru and I'm half Peruvian. And so I use pisco, which is like, I always like to tell people who are like, what the hell is pisco? I'll be like, think about like tequila and it's like our tequila, but it's not made out of the same things, but like we use it in similar ways. And so I just like threw whatever we had. I threw some ginger ale. I threw some squirt. I threw some God, what else? Some cider, some limonada. I put some sugar in it and all that stuff. And it ended up being really, really good. And I got turned and we played dominoes all night long. The whole family, we played dominoes all night long. And then me and my brother, Gianluca, are extremely competitive. We're only a year apart. So we're like really competitive with each other. And we were just like, it was hilarious. We were just like, I was like, I see what you're doing there. Like, and one time I got really, really, at one point I was pretty drunk. And I remember it was just me, my dad, and my brother playing. And you see, me and my dad are good at dominoes in the mindset because we're good at math. And so the entire time that we're playing, as the stuff is being played out, and as I'm looking at my dominoes, I'm counting. I'm sitting there just like counting. Okay, this is what I have. This is what's out. There are 3 more of these. There's 2 more of these. This is the one that's missing. If I put this down, I need this and this. Like, I'm just playing all of my odds and trying to figure out who has what. And I'm very focused. I really like playing dominoes. I've been playing it since I was a kid. But at one point I was sitting there and I was looking at it and I was just sitting there and I had my finger on 2 different dominoes. And I was like, no matter what happens, I know that these 2 are left. So either way, I'm good. And so I was sitting there going, and my brother, so I'm just drunk, like going, right? Thinking it's my dad's turn. Just be like, doesn't matter what you play.
She's just sitting here nodding with her eyes closed.
Yeah. And then my brother goes, hey, it's your turn. And I was like, oh, it's my turn. And then I wanted to laugh because I was like, oh my God, I was literally just strategizing. And so I just put out whatever. And then I wanted to tell them, but I didn't want them to know what I was waiting for. But it was really fun. New Year's Eve was really fun. New Year's Day was chill. It hasn't been that many days since we're just like barely a week over New Year's Day. Or New Year's. No, it's been a week since the new year. So a week into 2021. And with that, a lot of things have changed. I jumped into life, but I like what we wanted to talk about today, which today is kind of like just more of like a talkie.
We're just catching up. Yeah,
we're just catching up
after the break. We're just kind of touching upon how was that break. We've been gone a while. You know, it feels like when you catch up with your friends.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, you know, I love that. Yeah. So when you catch up with your friends, what have y'all been up to? What have we been up to? You know,
I haven't
seen you in like since the last year.
I have been so excited to record this all fucking week. Last night, like, I've been tempted to go on WAF and just be like, guys, I miss you and this is not. And I'm like, no, just relax. But I've been so excited to record this because I really have missed WAF. I wish this was something I didn't need to take a break from. And it's not that it's something that I need to take a break from, but I just needed to take a break from everything and everyone. And
it's healthy. It's healthy.
Yeah. And we ended up taking extra week off that we intended to because we decided we didn't want to rush in and we wanted to. So this 3rd week that you guys didn't hear from us or see us, we've been prepping stuff. Yeah. So you guys didn't see anything, but we've been doing stuff behind we're not taking the full break on the 3 weeks. We're just
we've been, I think, visually taking a break for 3 weeks, but off the in behind the scenes, we took 2 weeks off. And like I said, like it's healthy. Even the things that sometimes we need break for a break from the things that we even love,
Yes.
whether that be people, whether that be hobbies, whatever it may be. It's just healthy to always take that break, because I mean, as an introvert, I know the importance of spending time on your own and not having to. It's honestly, it is such a, again, I love WAF too, but it was nice to take that break, and like to be like, oh, it's Friday, I get to sleep in, I don't have to record. And so it's great, it's really nice to take a break. And I honestly 10 out of 10 recommend for anybody that is able to take a break, even from the projects you love,
Because
love.
if you're going through a lot, you lose the love for it and motivation. Like, it's just shown that that's
Yep.
something that happens when you're depressed, or like you lose motivation for the things that you love. And for a while, I felt like I didn't love dance anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, my love for dance was fully, fully, fully reignited, which makes me so happy, because for a while I thought, wow, I don't think dance is going to be a part of my life anymore, which I was actually accepting of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I inched into it and I was like, that's a lie. Dance is still very much a part of my life. It's not the central point anymore, but neither is school and neither is work. It's a balance. It's a beautiful balance, like Libras.
Yes, yes. As the resident Libra, I love balance. And I think that agree. I can feel when I'm off balance and things about being the center. I always think about. I've never thought of anything in my life ever being the center, because my life doesn't have a center. Because
Mhm.
if it's in the center, where's the balance, right? And so it's like, I know they call it center of balance, but like for me, it's all a big circle. Still a big circle that keeps going like this. There's no center to the circle. I know every circle has a center, but you know what? This circle is not. It is a donut, I guess. There's no center. So, but yeah, that's essentially like how I feel and everything. And like, yeah. So moving into the new year, we want to talk about all, since we caught up what we were doing, catch up on what is in store for the new year. What are we doing with the new year? What's what are we feeling now that we are 8 days into the new year? And wow, like it feels like so much has changed and so much has happened already, and it's like we're only a weekend.
Dude,
And so
you said that and I'm like, you're right. It's only been a week and I feel like I've been in this year for a month. But
I
also
know
so much has happened
so much has happened. So much
in
has
the
happened
world too.
in the world, and also just like also when another thing too, just for again, we keep reiterating, if you need to take a break kind of thing. When you jump back in, it feels like I took a break for like a year. Like that's how I felt like I haven't.
Dude, I mean,
I feel like that time was so long.
I feel like in some aspects I did. I actually
Huh?
just went on like social media yesterday on my more private. So because I do have some private stuff that I
Uh-huh.
limit and that will stay that way. But on
Mhm.
sorry, I got like to burp or something. Um on my more private social media account, I went on and talked about how like so I jumped back in this year. Like first off, the new year I feel like everybody is kind of like everyone jumps in.
Yeah.
Everyone jumps into everything because, and we'll talk about New Year's resolution and our thoughts
We're
about
good. What that's coming. That's
that's
coming.
coming because we have some thoughts about New Year's resolutions in general.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that I don't really have any this year, not in the
Okay.
way that I have before. My not resolution because I it's not for this year, it's for life. That's the thing. So I'm going in with and it started before this year. So I don't want to call it like a resolution. It's more like I don't know, like a mindset. Like I decided that I want to, and I've been working on it since last year, to be more present. I think I
Mm-hmm.
definitely started to become more present, but to stay present, to allow life to be flexible. I've always felt a strong commitment to time and places and commitments themselves,
Mm-hmm.
as well as commitments that I make to myself. And so I want to be more flexible with that, flexible to life being ever changing and growing, and to life taking whatever direction it's going to need to take, and to trusting life's plan. So, like, where am I going to be in 5 years? I'm not sure. And that's kind of exciting because I'm open to being anywhere. Am I even going to be here in the Bay? I don't know. And that's also okay.
Mm-hmm.
And to have more balance, to have more balance. And I'm working hard on that because I jumped back into everything this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd been saying in the last podcast that I'm going to be looking for a job, and that's what I've been doing. And one of them landed on my plate this week.
Yeah.
So you guys know I've been training under Mi Esencia. I took a month off from them in December as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been training with Mi Esencia for 6 months now, and it's been such a fulfilling experience and honestly really great. The scary part with training sometimes with your favorite professional is that you tend to, like, just like a celebrity, you build them up in your head to everything you like for them to be. And
Uh-huh.
that's one, we shouldn't do that because they're human,
Of
but it's
course.
always extremely disappointing when they're kind of a shit person. And let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you, Roxy Vega is an amazing person. Oh my
Ah.
God. Yo me identifico con ella mucho. I identify with her a lot because, yeah, we're very, very similar people. She also is
Mm-hmm.
extremely open. We have a similar style in dance. Um, she, we post very similarly. Like our post style is very similar,
Mm-hmm.
but then also just like the way that we are. So I feel like I understand her as much as I know her very
Mm-hmm.
well, and I can see myself reflected. She is also a workaholic. She likes to keep busy. She dances a lot, and she goes through it as well, just like any other human being.
Of course.
And she just and she's so nice. She's so freaking nice and encouraging and really truly wants you to reach your goals. And she, like, it's just like nice to know someone who barely knows me but believes in me so much,
Mm-hmm.
and encourages me and helps me, and she doesn't even really know me, and so it's really great. Anywho, I've been
Nice.
thinking about this for a while. She has some franchise teams, and what a franchise team is
Mm-hmm.
she has her core teams, and people in different cities can, have a franchise team. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
have, for example, have a Mia Sensia here in the Bay Area, and it's her choreography, but a professional here teaches it, runs it, all of that good stuff. And so I've been thinking about that for a while, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it or not. And then this week, I was just trying to figure out life's balance and what kind of job I'm going to get. And again, being flexible. I had a mindset of what kind of job I'd like to get, and just sticking to like one kind of thing. But as I started my job search, I realized that they are very demanding, and I don't want my grades to fall through. So then I realized I think I need something more flexible, and I think I need to do maybe a two-parter. And I had noticed that she'd been saying that, like, if you want to have a franchise, like, she'd been promoting franchise teams for the
Mm-hmm.
new season coming up this month. And I just took a leap of faith. Something in me was like, message her.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I consult everything with Babe before doing it, but I didn't. I just like was like, just do it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
did it, and she immediately was just like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. Like, I want you to. And like, I've been wanting a team in San Francisco for a long time. So you are looking at the new director of Mia Esencia San Francisco. Yeah, I'm gonna be holding audition orientation on the 15th. So this will literally, audition orientation is the day after this podcast. No, 2 days after
Yes.
this podcast goes out.
Yep.
I'm really excited, and I'm jumping back in, but I'm trying to do things one thing at a time. I also sent a resume off to a job that I really, 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 really want to get. It's part-time.
Thank
It's like a retail-y kind of job, but it's at a place that I really like. So I'm like, I would really be down to do that.
you. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I really, really hope I get it. I think I am. I really do, because I'm overqualified.
Yes,
um,
I have high hopes for you too. I think it looks promising,
yeah, I
and
think so
so
too.
it's like, yay! I'm so excited with all of like the new things, and like, also I think so. You talked about dance and how like you thought you had lost some passion for it, and et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes I think when we take a break, what helps is that it's just our approach to certain things. Maybe it's not so much the dance that needed a change, it was your approach to it, and that, or maybe your approach to life in general, about how like
Yeah, it's
allowing it to be flexible and allowing for things to like be like, all right, that didn't work, all right, on to the next thing. That's just how the cookie crumbles. I always have to slow down whenever I say that word. I have this bilingual brain thing, guys, where I can't say cookie crumbles without tripping over the words. And so, so that's, sometimes you have to accept that about life. And so I think maybe when you lost some of that rigidity with like your life and how you viewed it, maybe that really helped with the dance stuff too. Because
yeah.
I've often felt that too with whenever my life tends to have more rigidness or like it's more rigid, it's really hard for me to balance out creativity. And so we don't talk about balance, right? And so
Yeah. So that's what I was nervous about. And I was still nervous all week, even after making the decision and going through with everything, announcing it publicly, making the Instagram page, Facebook event, inviting people, doing all of this work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. I was still really nervous. I was really, really nervous because I am going to be doing social distancing outdoor practices where masks are required, and as well as virtual. It's not limited. And so that was one part that was nerve-wracking, but that was already something I was planning to do in these next, like, by February, March anyway. And on top of that, just jumping back into everything full swing, because although I have been somewhat working during the pandemic, I have been part-time at most. And I have not, I it's been like a long break. And so I had a moment this week where after everything happened and after I announced it, I got hit with a lot of anxiety and I got really scared. And Bay knows this behind the scenes. I've been talking about, like, I'm really afraid for things to go back to normal. Like, what if I'm not ready? And that's a big reason why I hadn't started my job hunt either. It'd been like this fear of, like, what if I have a mental breakdown at work? Like, what if this happens? But it's just this fear. And I didn't make these decisions until, I do want to say I feel a lot better. This break, I feel a lot better. Like, even Bay was telling me, like, you seem like a lot better.
You do.
I watch I do these video diaries for myself every once in a while. And I watched back some from like October, even November, even like the first week in December. And I was like, wow, that feels like a different person. I don't know who that is. Like, that feels like a completely different person. And it feels good to feel good. Like, I feel a lot better. Like, there was some precautions taken at home behind the scenes due to my state, and we were able to lift those. And so it's just like, it's really nice. I feel good. And so I got really anxious for a while, but I think it was like yesterday morning, I posted this thing on my Instagram that said, may life show you signs that you're on the right path, and may you believe it. And may those signs be clear and in your face. And I just posted that, like, just because I was like, oh, that's nice. And so I posted it. And then life was just like, doom, 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 doom. I've been receiving so much love and support from people I know, from people I don't know behind the scenes for this. And it's been affirming that this is the right decision and that I got this. And I know I got this, but just more of like the timing of everything and just this like fear, and like it was just so affirming, and I feel really good about it. I'm still nervous because I am jumping back into everything. But I'm trying to strive for balance, because I noticed I started to get into my workaholic-y kind of mindset the other day, where I just was just like, go, 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 go. And last night I went on a walk, and I like to walk because I'm very present, and I'm literally going, wow, the leaves. Oh my God, the flowers. Look at how the sun just hits that shade. And like, just like, I'm very like, wow, like very, very, very present. I would walk 3 blocks and be like, I don't remember walking those last 3 blocks, because my brain just couldn't shut off. And it was like, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I got home and I realized I've been in this place before. This is the place that I was in before the pandemic. The dance doesn't need to change. It's the mindset and the balance. I need to strive for that balance. So I went to sleep a little later because I was like, I need to strive for balance. And so I had like a little spa night, and I put on 2 different kinds of masks. I washed my face. I put on a peel on mask. I had some snacks. I watched, I love this show called Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I could watch it on Hulu, and I think it's NBC, and it is my favorite show. It came out, I think just before the pandemic, but I started watching it in the pandemic, and the universe speaks to me through this show. And so I was bawling my eyes out. And then I peeled the mask off. I put on a night mask. I read, I have a quote for you guys later, but I read this, read a little bit of this book because I've been trying to read more. And this week I haven't read that much because I've been so go, go, go. And I'm like, no, Daniela, balance. You got to make sure you maintain balance. And so, that's my big thing, is maintaining balance and putting a hard stop on work so that I don't just go back to what I used to do. And so I'm really excited, and I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
maintain balance, and I feel good about all of that. And that's kind of my view on my new year.
Yeah, on the new week and everything, it sounds like you had a really productive week with a lot of like signs and like a lot of things like temptation to revert back to like, workaholic and everything like that. It is although efficient, there's this kind of can be also detrimental and
It is
everything. And
detrimental.
so yeah, and so I think that it's like it's great. It's like it sounds like it's like a start off to the new year. And so I'd say like in contrast to your start to your new year, I had a meh start to the year. And we'll talk. Well, okay, let's get into it. So, like, I had a meh start because I've had like a kind of like I was kind of in a slump over the weekend. And then I was like, nah, maybe I just need to hop back into like for work. I wasn't really working over the holidays as well. My clients that I work for, they were gone. And so it wasn't anywhere for me to go. So I thought, you know what, maybe once my clients come back, I'm gonna hop in and everything will feel better. And no, I've kind of continued to like kind of struggle through this week, and I'm kind of just like in a meh headspace, kind of like I'm kind of like just here, I'm kind of pushing through. The like what I people have asked me, how are you? And like today I just been like, I'm here, like that. That's not great and not super like I don't feel like entirely all the way together like I usually am, but I'm making an effort to push through. I've had to push through. I pushed through the weekend, and I'm pushing through this week. We're already a Friday, so that's a good sign. And so yeah, that's essentially it. And so a lot of times we place importance on like how we start off the year, as if
Yeah.
the week will set the tone for the year,
Yep.
like as if this meh week is going to set the tone for the rest of the year.
As
And
if
so
the mehness of the week means that your year is going to be bad, and not that it's
exactly.
just another week. It just happens to be the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and that's the way I've been seeing it, is that I'm just like, you know what? It's just the beginning of the year. It's just another week. At the end of the day, the weekend was just another weekend, albeit a bad weekend, but it's just another weekend. It's just another week, and all I can do is take care of today. And
Yeah.
so like on that note, I was like, today has been I think the first time I've worn makeup since New Year's, which makes me happy. I'm like, okay. And like I try to like, I woke up at these past couple of days that I'm pushing through, I have felt, you guys know this, it's like, or maybe you guys experience this too. Whenever I'm having a bad week, I tend to need a lot of extra energy to push through. So I'm just exhausted all the time because of all the energy that I need to muster up to get out of bed and do all these extra things. And so before I wake up and I feel kind of blah and everything, and all I've done is take care of myself this week, as I've been trying to get up earlier than I need to and anticipate the blah feeling so that I can lay in bed comfortably without being like, goodness, you're running late already. I've woken up a little before and allowed myself to just lay in bed and just feel blah if I need to. And then I'll get up and start my morning really slowly because I don't want to jump into anything, because then I just tend to feel stressed, and that requires way more energy. And so I've been easing into my days, and I've been trying to take little moments for myself. Like one of the things that I thought of this morning was as I was doing my makeup was, at least I'm not breaking out this week. Could be worse. And so that's what I've been doing, is I've been having could be worse things. I'd be like, at least this hasn't
I
happened.
mean,
At least, yeah,
but
at
at
least,
least that's still a way of looking at the cup as half full.
yeah, exactly. So I've taken moments to tell myself, well, at least I haven't been breaking out. At least this has been going okay for me. And like I've been having little things to look forward to, like as like for to push through the work week. On the days, like for example today, once I get off, I don't have anything that I need to do that I can remember that I need to do. So it's like part of me is like, oh my god, at least I have that chunk of time to just lay in bed and exist. And so I'm looking forward to that already. And then like I've just been trying to do little nice things here and there to like sprinkle in some little like things that I do for myself, whether that is putting on my fluffy coats. I love, I think I've talked about this on here before, maybe I haven't. I learned recently, I think within this last 2 years or so, or 2019, I started using it. To 2020 made me realize I'm a texture person. I really love textures and things that are very like soft and like fuzzy and like a teddy material. Normally this kind of stuff flares up my eczema, and this is why I had to be careful with this. But I just love the feel of things, and they just make me feel better for some reason. And so whenever I'm having a hard like week, I tend to wear more things that are fuzzy, teddy material because they just make me feel better. And I like to wear, again, boyfriend fit oversized things because I just want to be swallowed up in fabric. And that's it. I also put on some socks. I put on some socks in homage to like my plants.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I forgot that we were gonna do sock camp.
I remembered because I was like, well, I forgot.
What intro? This whole video is an intro.
This whole thing is an intro. There is no intro. This whole thing is just like it's called video. It's not, there's no intro, outro. It's just called video. This is the video. When I was showing Dario, I remember that I meant to put my leg up next to him because my socks are an homage to my plants. Because again, we talk about how plants make you feel better. I've taken some time to sit with my plants. I always take the BB. Actually, he's not the BB, but he's the BB from the ones that are up on the windowsill. I have some other BBs that I propagated that are literally this big. They're so cute. So I've taken time to like kind of just sit with them. So I've been sitting with Dario a lot this week because he's tiny. So anyway, I'm going to show you my socks because they're an homage to my plants. All right. Can I do this? Yeah, I can. All right. Sock cam. Here's a segment of sock cam.
Sock cam. Sock cam. Yeah.
That sock cam stayed in 2020. No, it did not. Of course it didn't. I brought it in 2021. So
hell yeah. So I'm going to describe for our listeners the socks that you're looking at, and for our viewers that are like, what the hell are those socks? She has, please mistaken me if I'm wrong, but she has these light blue ankle socks that have cacti on it. I was gonna say cactuses. I was like, I think that's
always do that. I do it all the time.
It has a bunch of cacti on it. There are a bunch of them and some. Oh my God, is that an homage to WAF? They have pink pots, yellow pots, and we're gonna pretend like peach is a branch of orange, which it kind of is, and orange pots. That's so cute, and it's green cacti with all of its little pricklies.
Yes, that is the socks. I was pointing my feet for my dance teacher right here on the other side of the camera. For Daniela. My foot cramped. Ouch. So I'm pointing my foot. So yes, that is it. An homage to my plants. And you're right, the colors are an homage to WAF. They are, pink, yellow, and orange. We're going to pretend that orange, is peach. So you guys get the idea. So I put them on, and I forgot that I owned them. And I was like, my plants are something that makes me happy. So we're gonna, now that I have the plant socks on, we're gonna push through.
Yeah.
So what socks you got on? We got some. I know you have.
First of all, I would like to say that I love that you started this sock cam. This was not planned, by the way, y'all. One day she just like sock cammed, and it's just been a thing. But I love that you do, because I've always wanted to be a sock person. I see those sock stores, and whenever I go inside, I'm like, I want all of them. So I literally went to the store a few weeks ago and bought like 3 pairs of socks because I was like, I want sock cam socks. Okay, sock cam time.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Oh my God, I love these socks. Okay, all right, so here I am describing. They are crew socks. They are gray. They're like, I love this kind of gray color. They kind of match my little fluffy pen for those of you who are viewing. They're a gray color. They got cute little unicorns on them. The unicorns are like white and have little manes that are like pinkish lavender purple. I'm so bad at describing colors. I'm so sorry, viewers and listeners. Yes, and they say a word on them, and I don't know what it says because I am too blind to read that.
It is fancy.
Fancy. I love them. They are fancy socks with the unicorns. I love them. I actually have some unicorn socks that I'm going to be wearing as well. And so I love, the sock camp stuff. That is one of my favorite things. Have I always been a sock person? No, not even. I never cared about socks. I cared about them when Halloween season. That's what started sock camp for me, because out of nowhere, I was like, well, there's nothing to do for Halloween. I can't get my spooky on. So how am I going to do it? Like, I'm going to have spooky feet. I'm going to,
some people really have some spooky feet.
Oh my God. I said, I'm going to put on some cute little socks. And I thought I wasn't going to find a lot of Halloween socks. I meant to get like 1 pair of Halloween socks that I would maybe find were cute and watch a horror movie. That was what the plan was. But I found such an array of cute Halloween socks that I bought all of them, and that started my sock thing. Yes, so I love sock cam. Sock cam has made it into 2021, and that's sock cam is one of the reasons is for my existence now. But one of the reasons I'm pushing through this week is just that I'm honoring my plants, and I can't be over here being all meh, and I gotta make my plants proud. So if I'm wearing little socks to honor them, then I have to push through today, and all I gotta do is push through today, and then we're here, we're home free.
Well, I'm glad that you are. I'm sorry that you're having a hard week, but like I've told you this behind the scenes too, you know. And I'm glad that you already have this mindset where it's like, you know, because I think most people, if the year like you said, if the year starts off bad, they're just like the whole year is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And I still can't believe it's only been a week. And it's because everyone is so active on socials. And also like, let's acknowledge the elephant in America's room this week, which is that, you know, the white people took their privilege to the Capitol. And they took their privilege to the Capitol. They also decided that now they want to climb walls. And apparently they want to dress up like animals to do that. And unfortunately someone died. And that is very sad. Some people are saying, my personal opinion, this doesn't need to necessarily reflect the opinion of WAF, but my personal opinion, a lot of people I do see some people on social media saying like, I'm glad she's dead. And it's not a sentiment I share just because I am a lover, not a fighter. And my sentiment in general is just that it's not my decision. And I was just raised to not be happy over people's death. That's just not.
I will agree with you on that.
I think people should pay for their crimes and stuff, but then I'm not big on people.
I will say that's because just in the way that we feel tragedy when somebody who is like, you know, POC is shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for that person regardless of what they were doing. Maybe what they were doing is bad and everything, or whatever it was that they were doing. There's a double standard there, and I think again, my personal opinion. I don't, you know, I feel bad that happened to them as well. Like I feel bad too. As a human, I do feel bad. You know, that's my sentiment of that as well. And yes, that is that whole thing has been a whole cringe.
But were you surprised? Because I called this shit.
I was not surprised. And like I hopped on with a hashtag single Oliver on a here's single Oliver appearing again. Our hashtags for today were single Oliver, and when you were talking, Daniela, I had a hashtag in mind, but I can't remember. Hopefully it comes forth again. But
okay.
We're gonna have a couple of hashtags that y'all can comment down below, and we know single Oliver's in there. So yeah, with single Oliver and
he's gonna hate us.
I know. I can't wait for. We're not even gonna tell him. I'm just gonna wait for him to listen to it.
No, I'm gonna tell him to listen to the podcast, but I won't tell him why.
Okay, and so anyway, so I was talking to single Oliver about this, and we talked about what a cringe fest it was. It's been a question mark and kind of like, what? Did this really happen? But also, like, again, not surprising. And also, okay, another thing too is that people had taken it's great that you brought this up, because I've seen a lot of these posts on social media, and they're meant to be more funny and they're meant to be more lighthearted. But I have seen a lot of posts that are saying, well, 2021 is ruined. Well, we try again 2022. And like that, it's a joke, right? It's a joke. I'm not over here taking it seriously, nothing like that. But funny enough, that sentiment is actually something that people do carry outside of the historical events, political events that are happening. Sometimes, like for example, I had my meh week, right? Someone else could have had a worse week than me, something terrible happening to them, and they could easily just be like, you know what? Well, I'll try again next year. I'll try again 2022. And that's kind of what we wanted to unpack, was the mentality around New Year's and so much importance on turning that blank page and turning that new year into something. And it's, I guess that, so what the overarching question will be, guys, here's the overarching question of this today is that toxic? Is this new year, new me, New Year's resolution, a new blank page, a new blank slate? Is that actually something that is toxic? Mm-hmm. And so hashtag is that toxic on the bottom. There we go.
Hashtag is that toxic. Yeah, and that's what we really want y'all to comment on, because I remember last year, and I felt it creep in at the beginning of this week. I still can't believe it's only been a week. God damn. But because I was gonna say at the beginning of this year, I was like, bitch, it's only been a week. But I felt what happened last year. I remember New Year's came around and I got real depressed, because I just felt like, because 2019 for me was such a big year. I said the resolutions I set, I actually accomplished all of them. All of them, which is like, everyone knows it's like, it's pretty unheard of. Most people don't. And that's okay, right? But I accomplished all of them. So I felt this overwhelming pressure last year to to just keep leveling up. And I didn't know what to do, because I was also, although I accomplished all of my resolutions, I was also going through a lot of difficult things. I was going through a divorce. I moved back in with my parents. I was trying to rebuild myself as a dancer. So, I'm going to tell you this now. I did set resolutions. And they make me laugh now, because we didn't know where we were going to be. One of them was to travel more.
Oh my God.
The other one was to become more financially stable. And I think the other one was like related to my dance company, which somehow I've accomplished, but it's been difficult because the entertainment industry has suffered greatly from the pandemic, because our whole gist is people, numbers, and all that kind of stuff. Well, not numbers so much, but it's like, to make a sustainable living off of it at any level is like, events, performances, festivals, all of that stuff. Half of my job was event planning, and it was gone. So that I felt that creep in, that feeling of needing to have something. And I remember feeling it creep in and be like, no, don't you come here with that bullshit. Because as we saw last year, life, listen, you can set all of these resolutions, and I think it is important to have like motivation and things that you want to do. But I think that we get too strict on ourselves sometimes. And I think that here's my thing. Whatever resolution I set for myself this year, I didn't wait till the new year to start it. And a lot of people will wait till the new year to start. They're like, they'll have these plans November, beginning of December. And they're like, I'll start it. Well, why not start today? Or why not start when you're ready? And how about being flexible to the fact that, listen, life does not give a fuck. If 2020 taught us anything, is that life could give two shits about your plans.
Has other plans. Yeah.
Exactly.
The other plans.
Exactly. And so I was reading this book last night, and I found something in here that I want to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So this is Homebody by, please excuse me if I butcher the name, Rupi Kaur. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but it's really great. It has these sections in it. It's a poetry book. And the sections are mind, heart, and rest. And right now I'm in the rest section, and it's really good. The mind part is difficult because it's a lot of anxiety, depression. Heart one is, it's like, it starts at a hard time, and you can see the motivation. You can see this person's drive for life building, and it's really beautiful. I really like it. Highly recommend. But I found one, and it says, I get so lost in where I want to go. I forget that the place that I'm in is already quite magical. Be here. So I identify really hard with that, because I'm a person, or I was a person, trying not to be anymore, who is always focused on the future, is always focused on the end goal, is always focused on, this is like, I am hustle culture. and I do think that there is some toxicity in that too, because we live in a society where capitalism rules, and where it has its benefits, but it also has a lot of things that are not great about it. We live in a society where your worth is defined by how hard you work, and how far you get, and how quickly you get there. And these time stamps of, this is kind of where you should be around this time of your life. And I think it's beautiful to see people trying to deconstruct that and saying, finding love, finding success, having this, having that at any age is valid. You don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time. And sometimes we get so wrapped up in the things that we want to do that we stop living in today. We stop living in the present, and we can't take time to be grateful for all that we have today, because we have so much. Most of us, we have so much, and we walk around unconsciously ungrateful for that, you know, and just like, we want more, we want more, we always want more. But here's the thing, when you get more, will you be satisfied? Will you be happy? Will it truly make you happy? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes you'll get to that point and realize, oh, I'm not happy. Or I don't, you know, I grew up in a home with someone who was never happy and who lives in hustle culture, and I saw it. And then on the other side of the parent, I grew up with someone who's not like that, and who was very happy in their job doing what they do. Not necessarily saying they were 24/7 happy, but they loved their job and they were happy and they had a passion for it. And growing up, I was like, I want that. I want what that person has, without like putting either one of my parents on blast.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I want what that person has. I want to be happy. I want, and this time in the pandemic and this time off made me realize I want balance. And sometimes I think that we get so wrapped up in, okay, this is the year I'm going to lose weight. This is the year I'm going to achieve this dream. It's going to happen this year. And it's like, it will happen when it needs to happen. Yes, work towards it, but what is your intention? Why are you doing it? What is motivating you? Is it other people? And like, that's what got hard for me to jump back into working out. Do I want to work out because I want to lose weight? Or why do I want to work out? Because do I not like my body? Because there's a problem if that's the issue, right? Like, because then that's a self-esteem issue.
Mm-hmm.
Am I actually having health problems? And I finally got back on working out at my own pace, because I decided that what I want is, I want to feel healthy. I have had some health stuff before the pandemic that
Mm-hmm.
require me to be a little bit more mindful with my diet. I'm pre-diabetic, and diabetes runs in my family. And if I don't take care of myself, I'm going to be diabetic. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was just a reminder to that, and to wanting to feel strong because my body was really sore, to wanting to, I always say, I was going to say jokingly, but I'm not joking, that I want to live to be 100. And if I want to do that, I have to try to maintain a balanced, healthy diet. That doesn't mean restricting like crazy. It just means
Uh-huh.
adding, being more balanced, being more conscious about what I eat, but still, because I'm a foodie, I love to eat. So just
Yeah.
being mindful of that. And so that's my sentiment around, is it toxic? Do I think it's
Yeah.
toxic? I do think it's toxic. I do think it's toxic.
I will agree with you on that, because in speaking that, you brought up diet culture and like exercising and New Year's resolutions. And so, sorry guys, I was moving my cup out of the way. I don't know about you guys, but I get anxiety when the cup is too close to the edge of the table. I'm like, Jesus, the carpet is pink. I'm like, I can't spill. I had a whole episode of Christmas Break where I spilled hot chocolate on this
That's
carpet. And
right.
yeah, I had a whole episode. So ever since that, the cup is too close. I have to move it. So anywho, point is, yes, it's been funny that you brought up diet culture and like all these, and waiting till the new year to start things and all these other things. And so I also don't have any New Year's resolution. I think I'm going on year either 2 or 3 where I haven't had a New Year's resolution, and I have never been happier, guys. I know it sounds, you're probably like, what?
Hey.
You are so lazy. I'm like, I used to tell myself that. I used to be like, you're so lazy. You don't have any goals. I'm like, I do have goals, but my goals are continuous. They continue to work. It's not a goal that I want to have for a year. It's not a goal that I want to have for a fleeting moment, just to have a goal for the new year and that's it, and complete it and check it off a list. If there's anything that I invest my energy into, then I want it to be something continuous in my life. Like I have this goal overarching since I think at some point last year. I can't even tell you when I had this thought, because I don't pay it. I don't. Maybe it's on me to not track my goals. I don't track when I start something, and when, because progress is also not continuous. I fall off the wagon, I jump back on. I fall off the wagon, I jump back on, and that's fine, because I am still okay. So one of the goals that, to put more context to this, is to be more creative, to indulge in my creative side. I've always been someone who's super creative, but
Yes.
I stopped believing in myself, which is what I mentioned about rigidity in my life, and and creativity being a sacrifice for that. Yeah, like I stopped being creative when I gained more rigid things in my life, whether that was school, whether that was work, whether that was things that required me to be super, super efficient and not so much creative. I let go of all of my creative endeavors. I stopped drawing. I stopped, doing my art stuff. I stopped even dressing creatively. I stopped creative makeup. I stopped anything like that. It was just like a machine. And whenever I adopt my lifestyle like a machine, again, creativity suffers. I've always cut that cord and been like, oh, whatever, that's not that important to me. But I realized that it is that important to me. And I don't know when I had that thought that I was like, I want to lean back into my creativity. Whenever I had that thought, I've been working on it since then. And I have moments that I fall off that I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling very creative right now, or I'm not feeling creative, or maybe my life gets a little more demanding. So I sacrifice that creativity. But I always make a note to try to bring it back, because the goal was to indulge in my creativity, was to be able to pull that and to not eliminate it completely. Whereas for a couple of years, it was eliminated completely.
Oh my God, I completely agree. The break made me realize that too. When I talk about balance, guys, I'm not just talking about like school, work, dance. That's not it, because that's also not a life to live, because those are all in one way or another work. But over the break, I started reading like crazy. I got books for Christmas, y'all. In case you didn't know, I'm a bookworm. I'm a nerd. I love to read. That's one of the things that I stopped doing for a long time. And I'm doing it again. And I don't read one book. I read like 3 books at a time. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Also, I'm trying to get more into like my skincare stuff. I used to bake all of the time, and I don't bake anymore. And that makes me sad. I used to sing all of the time. I don't sing anymore. I want to bring those, just like you're talking about, like the creative stuff. Like we sacrifice those things, those luxuries, those indulgences, because we're like, they're indulgences, so like I have other priorities. And like, yeah, okay, we have other priorities, but we're sacrificing the things that keep us alive, the things that fuel our soul, the things that bring balance to our life.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's something I agree. Like, yeah, like it's things that bring balance, the things we think to ourselves, this is a luxury, it's an indulgence and everything. But those are the things that actually fulfill me. For the past couple of years, I always tell people, I can't even tell you what I did. I can't because it didn't actually fulfill me. I lived the machine life. I lived the work, home, work, home, work, regard, even though my work can be very rewarding. It can be in my career. But to me, I realized that I measured my life in terms of what really fulfilled me. And I can think of the moments that fulfilled me in those years, but I can't tell you what I was doing all those years, because I lived a machine life. And I realized that now, this past year, when I decided to indulge in my creativity and lean in and go back and allow that creativity to be in my life again, it very much, sometimes I fall off the wagon. Sometimes I'm not creative at all. Sometimes I'm just lazy, and that's okay too. Because again, progress is not linear. My goal was to have it in my life again, not to have it every single day. And so I think that's another thing too, is that like we talk about our goals and being too rigid with ourselves. So I guess in terms of like, when you measure your progress you measure your year or measure your worth on whether you accomplish your goals or not, you are not allowing yourself that flexibility for maybe right now I'm having an off day. Right now I'm having a couple of off months. And right now I just don't feel like it. You're forcing sometimes progress when it doesn't fulfill you. And that's something that also, like, we talk about dieting and everything. That was me too for like the longest time. My New Year's resolution was always to lose weight every single year since I was like maybe like 15. That was my New Year's resolution, was to lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. And I worked at it every year, or tried to, and it was always looming in the back of my mind, just dangling in front of me every time that I wanted to have like candy or wanted to have a pastry. I would want to eat it. In the back of my head was, remember your New Year's resolution? You want to lose weight? That shit had like a hold on me. We talked about this in the body dysmorphia episode, that like, body image has had a big hold on me, and that was one of the things that had a hold on me. I'd weigh myself at the beginning of the year, and I would never weigh myself at the end of the year, because halfway through the year I'd fall off because I was just so miserable. I was so miserable that I just give up. I'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I'd give up, and then I'd feel bad for giving up. Then December would come around and I'd be like, all right, I gave up. I failed at this goal. And then that would determine my worth as a person. And then I'd be like, well, you know what? It's okay, because the new year is coming already. We're already at December. I'm going to try again. And I kept trying, but God, was I miserable those years. I was so miserable. And that's one thing that I think is so hard, is that how much of time that I spent telling myself that that was my worth, that losing weight or achieving this goal or all these things were more important than my happiness. That being thin, that losing weight, or sometimes I would also mask it under the guise of being healthy, and I would be like that all these things were more important than my happiness. That I would be like, I'd over here eat my little salad, and that, oh well, if I wasn't happy, right? And that was more important. And I'm like, that's not more important. And in response to that, to respond to that, I'm about to eat a piece of chocolate right now that I have right here, because fuck that. Fuck that. My fuck salad. I actually really like salad, but fuck salad.
Oh, I don't. Well, I like Mediterranean salads, but besides that, fuck salad.
I like Asian chicken salad, but I like salad because I want to have salad, not because I need to sit there miserably at lunch wishing that I was having some pasta or something else. No, because you know what? Though our worth is not determined by our weight. Salad. Yeah, fuck salad. It's like, it's our worth is not determined by weight. Our worth is not determined about our goals that we reach or don't reach. That's not, you are, everybody and everybody, really, literally everybody is deserving of dignity.
Oh my God. Hold on. I love that you said that. We had to cut earlier, like way earlier. And while we were situating, I found this post that you said right now, our worth isn't determined by all this stuff. And I think it's kind of perfect. I would like our listeners to know you are already worthy the way you are, mija. Yeah, I'm going to share that day. It's from Hija de tu Madre is one of the pages that I follow, and they posted that today. You are already worthy now, mija. You are. You guys are. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of an off day. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of everything. You are worthy. You don't have to be, that's one thing I learned too in 2020. You don't have to be this perfect person to deserve these things. You are already deserving just for being you.
Agreed. Yes, you are. Yeah, you don't need to earn anything in this life. You do not need to earn anything. So if those goals are having some kind of like hold on you, like my goals used to have a hold on me, then fuck those goals.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Are those goals good for you? Are they good for you long term? Are they helping you? And be flexible. Like maybe, like she said, maybe you need to hop off, hop back on. Don't be so, if you want to be, if being rigid and being like, because I'm a person that needs structure. Mm-hmm. So I do like to have structure, but I also have to, one thing I did this week, because you would think that I hated this week too. I totally forgot to. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you guys on a funny note of being present and also not letting the month, the week, whatever get to you. Remember to be flexible with your goals, because I'm a person that likes structure, but even then this week I've tried to remind myself that if I don't fully follow my structure, that's okay, and that if I need to give myself whatever it is that I need to give myself, then that's okay. Like I think maybe a night or two ago I was like, oh, I need to read because of balance, right? And I do want to still try to prioritize reading, but I didn't feel like reading.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this video right now, and because that's what I want to do, that's what my body craves, so I'm gonna allow it. I also don't want to dive too deep into like getting sucked into the loophole of watching too many videos, but I allowed it that night because it felt like what I needed, because I hadn't done it in a while. And just give yourself what you need. Is it constructive to your well-being? Are your goals actually making you feel better? Mm-hmm. Like, are they actually, like, I know that some goals can help you, like for example, weight loss is a big one, right? They can help you feel better because you don't like the way you look maybe, but think about it. Do you actually feel better doing that stuff? Do you actually, or are you miserable?
You should not have to be miserable. And that's
also, as someone who like worked in the fitness industry, and like I do really like to work out. I wouldn't say I'm a gym rat. I'm not. I haven't had a gym membership in a while, but it's also important to note that there are different styles of workouts, and not every workout is for every person. If that is something that is really important for you, then maybe take the time to give yourself the patience of figuring out what style is right for you, because there is going to be something that clicks for you, whether that's dancing, whether that's CrossFit, whether that's kickboxing, like there's a lot of cycling. That I love cycling. That's how I found out that I love cycling. But yeah, so I wanted to I don't know if you had any last thoughts, but I wanted to wrap with a little story.
Yeah, I think my last thoughts are pretty much in that sentiment of me eating another piece of chocolate is that chinga la dieta, honestly, chinga la dieta at this
Chinga la
point.
Hashtag chinga la dieta.
Hashtag chinga la dieta. We had that one. Yeah. So hashtag chinga la dieta. Like, it's like at this point, like it's fine. You know, I don't have to earn my meals. I don't earn anything. So like it's yes, that was essentially what I stood on my soapbox for a little bit. So yeah, let's wrap with a cute little story, a fun story. I'm sorry guys if you keep hearing the rappers. Now I just started eating the chocolate.
This is now this podcast is not only a how was our break, New Year's resolutions, is that toxic, but it's also an ASMR video.
Mm-hmm.
It is an.
If you guys heard me bite into that, it was a nice crunch.
I'm just kidding, guys. I love ASMR, by the way. But okay, so story time. So the reason I want to talk about this story is because I think that the importance of the story is the mindset that I've come in before this year even started. I don't want to say come into this year with, because truly it started before this year started. But okay. So I went for a walk, and I think I mentioned earlier that I've been having a little trouble staying. I had trouble a few of these times this week staying focused on my walk, on being present. Mm-hmm. And one of the times I was on the walk with my dog Candy, and we were starting to go home. And as I was going home, I was like, I don't feel satisfied by my walk because I wasn't present all of the walk. And we got to the turning point where I could turn and go up the street that leads to my house, or I could go straight and loop around the long way. So I decided, you know what? Let's loop around, and I'm going to focus on being present, right? Because I need to be present, because I was like, not New Year, new me, fuck that. But I was just like, we're trying to focus on balance in our life now, Daniela. And so I was like, okay. So I keep walking, right? And I notice as I'm walking that at the corner, and I'm walking towards like a busier intersection in my neighborhood. And there's a cop car at the corner, but not all the way to the front. He's like a little further back from the stop, and I see him, and I'm like, I see you trying to catch people doing that California roll. I do you, okay? And I'm like, I hope he catches someone, because it'd be fucking hilarious, right? And so I'm walking, right? And I'm a short person. I'm 5'2", and I think we've talked about this before, but in case you guys thought we were giants or that we're average height, we're not. We're short.
No.
We're very short. I'm the taller one of the two, and I gravitate towards short people. That's not the point. Anywho, I'm short. And so we're walking, and it had just rained the night before. I'm walking with Candy, and I like to jump over puddles sometimes, but I'm short, so I know that sometimes I need like a running start. So I'm getting to the corner, and I see that there's a puddle right at the turn. And as I'm approaching it, I'm like, oh, it's a little puddle. I didn't even, normally when I see a puddle, I stop and I'm like, can I actually jump this puddle? And I won't sometimes. But this time I didn't even question it. I was just like, I got this in the bag, right? And again, also not anticipating that, one, that I'm short, and two, that I haven't stretched much these days. So I immediately just like leap over it, one leg forward, the other one following. Unfortunately, I was too short, and my heel stepped right at the edge of that slippery, muddy puddle. And so my front right leg goes forward into a jazz split as my left leg lands the knee on the floor, and my ass is all the way in the muddy puddle, drenched with mud. And I fall right in front of the cop and these cars. And I had these headphones on actually when I went on, because it was during broad daylight. And I was just like, and I'm a clumsy person, so I fall all the time. And I'm not the kind of person that if you fall, I'm going to be laughing. I don't, because I used to fall all the time and people would laugh at me, and I get embarrassed. So I would always be like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Eventually I learned that the way to beat the bully is to laugh at yourself first. And so eventually I would just start laughing at myself. And so before, I did start laughing at myself, because eventually it did turn funny to me, because that's I'm literally so clumsy, guys. I am the person that drops everything. I am the person that falls down all of the time. I'm very clumsy. Like, don't ask me to hold something delicate for you, because I cannot guarantee, it's not on purpose. Anywho, I fall, Candy's by my side. I'm just really glad I didn't fall on her. And I look over at her, and she's just chilling with her head turned to the side, and she's going, and I'm just like, I'm just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And so I immediately get on my knees and I bring Candy to the front of me and I have her sit and I pretend like I'm checking on her, like if she's okay. And I'm, again, glad I have these noise canceling headphones on because I had music on. The cops totally saw me eat shit. And they were probably like, are you okay? And I'm just like, Candy, God. Are you okay, mama? All right. And so, okay, again, cop sees me walking towards the intersection. Instead of around, as I stand up, I realize my ass was all up in this mud. I probably look like I shit myself. So I was like, I cannot walk up this busy street with everybody watching. So instead of continuing my walk, I get up and I go back where I came from. And I just home. And I cannot tell you, I never wished for teleportation powers or to be invisible more because I had to walk for whatever reason. That was the day that more people were outside and like in front of their house. So I just like, I was like, I need to call someone. And so Bae was at work. And so I called my friend Maria. Shout out to Maria who listens to the podcast. Hey.
Hi, Maria.
Anywho, I call her and I was like, is this a good time? She's like, I'm driving. And then but here's the purpose of why I call her. One, because it was funny and I was laughing and I was like, oh my God, this would be me. And she was like, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like, oh, it would be you. And but I also called her because in case anybody saw what looks like a shit stain on my ass, I could just be like, yeah, dude, I fell in a puddle of mud. Like, can you believe it? And they'd be like, oh, she fell. She didn't shit herself.
Oh my God.
I got home and I did sprain my ankle. So that was not fun. And the muscles in my right leg are very tight this week. Like they've been hurting a lot. It's been hurting to walk. And my knee was bloody and the mud seeped all the way through my leggings and onto my actual ass cheeks. And so you would think like, wow, that sucks. That's a bad omen or something, you know, because New Year, right? But I just was like, I fall all the time, whatever. And like, because for a second I was worried I injured myself. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to dance. I was supposed to this was before I made the Mia Sensia decision. But I just was like, tis life. It's another day. Guys, if something bad happens to you during this month, don't focus on the fact that it's the beginning of the year. Don't let that moment define you. It's not fun to have bad moments. Trust me, I know. But they don't have to hold you back from having a decent year, from trying to be happy. Yeah.
Like you took that L in stride. You were like, let me turn back from where I came from and let me take my ass home. Like, it's like, you know, like you took the L in stride. Like sometimes the new year starts with L's, okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get some L's here and everything, here and there. And that's okay. That doesn't mean anything. And just like we talk about progress and goals, sometimes we take L's there too. And maybe we take an L because we never completed that goal or whatever. That's fine too. Yeah, like it's like life is full of good moments and also L's. And the L's make for good stories. And so, because this is a good one.
Oh my God, it was. I talked about it on Instagram. People were like, "That's fucking hilarious." You would.
I know. This is very Daniela. And so, if anything, if you want to look at it, like people could look at it a bad omen, or you could look at it as you started off the year as Daniela. as Daniela. Daniela made it to 2021. Because this is a very Daniela moment. And so I think that you could see it that way too. And so I think that it's like, you know, perspective, and like we talked about, just perspective. Sometimes it's our approach to things. And so that is what we have for our year, for how we thank you for staying with us and chit-chatting and everything. I know this one was more of like a conversation-y kind of a video, but like I said, it's like catching up with old friends. Like
exactly. So I hope you grabbed your chai or your coffee or whatever. I hope you had your meal just like I did. I had my entire breakfast this whole time. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. We really enjoyed it. We're really enjoying the loose structure of things too, and just coming on here and being ourselves, and always keeping this a fun place to interact with each other and also to interact with our audience, that is you guys. And we're really excited for all the fun projects that we have coming on. There may be an Instagram live coming very soon.
Yay, you get to see us unedited. No, there's no cuts on Instagram Live.
Honestly, there's not that many edits on these because we like to keep it real, y'all. We like to keep it hella real.
We obviously keep it real. We like leave all the interruptions in. I mean, if you guys watched the last episode of the Daniela's year in review, my whole setup fell down. That's in. That's in the video.
Because I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was
so funny. It's like that. So now you guys know we keep it real. We keep it real here, and be sure to comment down below the hashtags we said all this entire video. I forgot all of them already.
They're hashtag single Oliver.
Single Oliver.
Yeah, hashtag is that toxic?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag there was another.
Chinga la dieta.
Hashtag chinga la dieta.
And those are hashtags for today.
Let's get those trending on Instagram somehow.
Let's get them trending.
Post your hashtag chinga la dieta, hashtag is it toxic, and let's slide into them DMs of hashtag single Oliver.
Post your best selfie, and then if you want to slide into his DMs, hashtag it single Oliver. We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up, girl. Oh my god, I can't wait for him to listen to this. But anyway, the point is the chais are done.
Yes.
And so is this chisme. Thank you for tuning in, like we said. And we hope you catch us on our next episode of Chais and Chisme.
Yes. It's been so good to listen to you guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below, please. If you are listening to us and there is a rating option, please leave us a rating. It helps so much. And make sure to follow our socials. We'll link those all down below, including my new dance company, my new branch, Mi Esencia San Francisco, based in the East Bay. All right, guys. Ciao.
Salud.
Bye.